Brain-based learning is a concept of learning through brain principles. We learn through our brain, and once we understand the principles of our brain functioning, we can learn better because our traditional styles of learning, suppose rote learning, or there are different kind of methods which are actually taught from years to years or centuries to centuries to the students. But now as we know more about brain and we know how brain learns, we can use those principles to understand, to apply those principles for learning, and we can understand what is effective learning. That effective learning based on brain principles is known as brain based learning. Just like when our prefrontal cortex or the frontal lobe of our brain is active, our learning is active, our focus is sharp, we are having a control on our distractions, and we know the art of focusing when our prefrontal cortex is active. So, once we understand how these brain chemicals, brain waves, and functions of brain are acting, then we can learn definitely better. Hard working or studying for a long time is not a solution. Many students they sit for hours together, but they actually do not understand correctly, and many students they learn smartly in less time, they understand better. This is because their brain is set to learn. We have to train our brain to set for learning. How we can train our brain? There are different laws. One is law of conditioning. Just like when we sleep at that regular time, the same time we will feel sleepy. This is the conditioning of brain. So, the same time, if you will start studying, you will feel more energetic while studying, as well as you will find yourself very comfortable, and you will feel it very easy. And you will ask me why this happens and why this practice or conditioning is so important. I will give you an example. If we are walking in jungle, we see two paths. One path is very clear, other path is having so many bushes on it. Suppose so many people they will walk on the path where there are bushes, slowly that path will also get clear. In the same way, when we practice something, condition something, that road becomes clear, and our brain does not need to put more energy to go through that way. This is a very simple solution for our brain. So, number one, conditioning. Sit at the same time for the learning. Second, sit at the same place for learning. And what does it mean by same place? I want to say that the place should be silent, the space should be conditioned, and there should not be no noise. It is always better if we sit at the same place, but neuroscience also suggests that to repeat the studies, you can go out, you can just remind yourself, or you can take the book, sit in under the tree, and you can read. You can take the book in library, you can read. That also adds on your brain inputs, and your study becomes more and more perfect. Second law. Second law of learning shows that your efforts, that means your intention. If your intention is very clear that I want to get highest mark in the class, or I want to understand the subject at the highest level, or I want to get a good understanding of every subject, so whatever your reward is, whatever your motivation is, but when you are getting motivated with that target, then you yourself put all the energy in that way. This is because When we are focused, all our energy is in one direction. But when we are having a distractions, we want to do that also, we want to do this also, at that time our energy gets bifurcated, and that split energy causes distraction as well as a less focus. What happens due to that, our energy for focus becomes less and we cannot learn faster. It is just like jet aeroplane. When we go by jet, we go zip zap zoom. But when we go by a bus or train, we go slowly. Either way is good, but when we want to have a razor sharp focus, then your focus energy should be very high. Third thing, you should not be stressed. Emotional stress, physical stress, or mental stress. Any kind of a stress actually hampers our learning process. So be happy. Happiness helps us to learn better. Number fourth thing, have a respect for your parents and teachers, because gratitude is very important attitude. When we are having a gratitude in our heart, the people around us, they feel nice, they help us. And second thing is that if we keep grudge in our mind, we are very much distracted and our energy get split due to that jealousy or due to that anger in our mind. Number fifth is prayer. You will say you are a doctor of brain and you are saying to pray. How is it possible? I always tell that when you pray, you are connecting to yourself. So get disconnected from the world and connect to yourself. Prayer is the best medium. You can do meditation, you can listen to the music, you can write down journal, do anything, whatever suits you. But when you do that, you are actually connecting to your deep self. And the more you know yourself, the more you become more effective in the studies. So, brain based learning is nothing but understand the basic principles of brain learning and to apply it in our day to day life and conquer our fortress of study and exam and become more and more confident in our studies. Thank you.